answering your questions about retirement. It's Money Talk with Michael Eastham.
I have a will, but someone told me I might need a trust too. What's the difference, and do I actually need one?
Okay, estate planning questions. I love these because so many times these are left out of the financial planning equation. But to me, it's a very important cornerstone to having a well-rounded financial strategy. But it also requires a very important caveat. Number one, I'm not an attorney. And number two, I don't play one on TV or on the internet. So nothing that I say should be construed as legal advice. But having said that, I have worked with a lot of estate planning attorneys, and we've had lots of questions from clients just like you about the differences between a will and a trust. So let me explain that for you. If you just have a will, then a will must go through probate. No matter what people say, your will is going to have to go through probate. And you can have beneficiaries on certain accounts like your IRA accounts, your brokerage accounts. If you have savings and checking accounts, you'll want to make sure that you have TOD, which is transfer on death, or POD, which is pay on death. That's the equivalent of having a beneficiary on that account. However, one thing that I always see people miss, or they don't really think about, is their home. Your home is one of the biggest assets that you might have. And if you don't have that covered, well then that alone could cost you, your estate, thousands of dollars when it comes down to processing your estate through probate. So it is very important to understanding the distinction. If you have a trust, and when I'm talking about a trust, I really mean a revocable living trust, which is the majority of trusts that most Americans have. Then you can put your home inside of the trust, the deed to that house inside of the trust, and what that does is effectively puts a beneficiary on that home so that it doesn't have to go through probate, saving your estate and your trustees thousands of dollars in administrative costs and probate costs. So that's one of the biggest things that is a benefit of having a trust over a will. The other thing is that it provides a lot more privacy. Having a trust in place is not something that has to go through the court. In fact, the court doesn't like to get involved in any trust disputes unless there's, fraud that's alleged or some other type of nefarious action or activity on behalf of the trustees or others. So they're not even going to mess with it. The trust is something that you manage, or your successor trustees are the ones that are going to manage. And you get to bypass that entire probate process. So the other things that are very important to ensuring that you have a good, solid estate plan in place is certainly you need to have a will and possibly a trust, but also the other advanced directives like a durable power of attorney, and advanced directives for medical, a living will, and of course some other potential documents depending on what your individual circumstance is. If you have children with special needs and you have to have other types of irrevocable trusts, or maybe you're trying to do some estate planning for financial considerations down the road, well then that's going to require a little bit of a different strategy, and certainly it's going to end up costing more. So keep that in mind. I will tell you, when it comes to making a decision about whether you do a will or a trust, well, listen, a will package is going to cost you a few dollars less. But I like to tell folks, don't trip over dollars to save nickels, because a trust is going to cost a little bit more money today, but it's going to avoid potentially thousands of dollars in probate costs down the road. Great question. I love to handle those. I hope that was helpful. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you get the most up-to-date information that we put out on a weekly basis. And if you have questions about your estate, reach out to us. We'll be happy to schedule a time to talk to you and get you on the road to that stress-free retirement. Thanks so much.